Hello everyone, Peter Smith here. It's 22nd of November. I'm still in New York. It's Thanksgiving today. It's a holiday. But I haven't had a holiday. I've been writing up some reports and getting some things put together. I've nearly been at the UN last 2 weeks. And just doing a little video to give a little summary of what's been going on. The third committee, which does human rights, they've just done 55 resolutions. A certain number of them have been loaded up with sexual and reproductive health wording, which isn't good. I've been trying to get countries to put in reservations to try and combat that sort of stuff a bit. I've been meeting new people. I've got someone I give a pass to who introduces me to ambassadors. So I met one European ambassador and one African ambassador. I don't want to mention the names, but which was good. Had some good meetings there. Met a new delegate from Jamaica. Met a new one from Russia. They change over quite regularly, so you've got to try and keep up with all this stuff. And then I go up and I have lunch. Up on the fourth floor at one of the staff cafeterias, and it was pretty busy. There was lots of women's meetings on, and sat down at one table one lunchtime, and there was an Israeli chap. I saw this Israeli mission to the UN folder he had, and had a little chat to him, but he wasn't for chatting very much, and then he headed off. And then this other couple came up and sat with me, and they were from the Ukraine. And I thought, so I got chatting away to them, and I didn't realise, they hate the Russians. They absolutely hate the Russians. So it was very interesting, because they're sort of a former colony of Russia, and as soon as they could, they got their independence. But they gave up their nuclear missiles, all their nuclear weapons, they gave back to Russia. So I thought, that's very interesting. Belarus and Ukraine and one of the stands, they got their independence, but had to give all their nukes back to Moscow. Never knew that's what happened. But there you go. That's where, it's funny the information you'll pick up when you're hanging about the UN. You never know who you like to run into. So the United States was trying to do a bit of a patch up on some of this sexual and reproductive health wording, and this is one of their requests for amendment. And after sexual and reproductive health, they wanted in accordance with national laws, which was a good idea. So this is on child early and forced marriage. You wonder why they're talking about abortion with child early and forced marriage, but that's where it's all stuck in here. It's 1, 2, 4 places, and they got absolutely slaughtered. It got voted down, and it didn't happen. I was just going out the toilet, and there's double doors as you go out of these big conference rooms, and there the British delegate was ranting and raving about the United States, and they'd put a man on the moon, and they're so barbaric and primitive with Trump. They're anti-choice and all this sort of stuff. And I was in a bit of a rush to go to the toilet, which is probably a good job, because I got back and she was gone. But I was very tempted to say, well, dearie, and I'd use exactly those words. I'd say, I'm quite happy about the Americans, because I don't speak Japanese now, because the Americans stopped the Japanese from invading Australia. And if the Americans hadn't got involved in the Second World War, you'd be speaking Russian or German now, because that's how it would have worked out. One side or the other would have won, and they'd have taken all of Europe, including Britain. But fortunately, she'd gone, and I didn't get a chance to get myself into trouble. So it was probably best that I didn't get a chance to give her a bit of cheek, because they could have got nasty and got me flung out or something. So it's just as well I didn't have the opportunity. So there we are. It was all very interesting there in the last few days, and then at the end they were all congratulating themselves and patting themselves on the back, and Everyone was thanking everybody else, and they even had a few poets doing a little bit of poetry at the end of the third committee resolutions. It's quite funny, really, in some ways. But there it is. The British delegate gave a bit of nice poetry. But the only good thing the British has done, apart from defend the right for Gibraltar to still be British and not Spanish, they did that. Well, that was good. The Argentinians weren't going on about the Falklands this time, but I'm sure the British would have had a good response for that too. So third committee stuff's all over. I'm still trying to get people to do a few reservations on these different things. I'm not sure how it'll go, but I'm getting the flight back from JFK tonight. I don't know whether we get turkey on the plane for Thanksgiving in Aer Lingus. I don't know if the Irish do Thanksgiving as they head out of America on Thanksgiving Day. We shall see. But last night I went down to the Graffiti Church, East 7th Street, and had a little bit of Thanksgiving dinner, a bit of turkey. It was a bit salty, but it was okay. I had a nice meal down there and met up with Rita, who came and visited me in Scotland a year or so ago, and Susan, she came too. Saw Pastor Taylor there. It was good. And I met Pastor Taylor's sister last Sunday. She's the one who led him to the Lord when he was 21. It was lovely to meet her and her daughter and a couple of granddaughters. I got a picture of them and put it on Facebook. So I was just reporting in. I don't know how many people have watched this. One person bought my book on Reggie through the internet. So one's better than none. So if you're thinking about getting my book on Reg, just look it up at Lulu, www.lulu.com. Peter Smith Reg is the name of the book. So that's it. Probably do another something or other when I'm back in Scotland, a bit over the jet lag. God bless you all.